All right, so you know how it is at the end of the year, right? All these big tech reports drop, and they're just packed with predictions. But what if, out of all that noise, there's only one lesson from 2025 that truly matters for any business trying to use AI? Well, today, we're going to cut right through it all using Deloitte's latest tech trends report to find that one big idea. Let's dive in. And boom, here it is right at the very beginning. This is the single most important lesson of the year, the core idea we are going to unpack today. It's not about just buying a new AI tool, it's about completely redesigning how your business actually operates. You're going to want to burn this sentence into your brain because everything we talk about is going to circle right back to it. I'm sure you've seen this iceberg metaphor a million times, and for good reason. It is the perfect way to picture the AI challenge. You know, above the water, you've got all the cool, exciting stuff, the AI agents, the shiny new tools, the flashy demos. But below the surface, that's where the real work is hiding. We're talking messy data, ancient systems, and just miles of undocumented code. And that's exactly where the real transformation has to start. So here's the game plan for today. First, we're going to dig into that core AI lesson. Then, we'll get into the big reality check we all got from AI agents. After that, we'll look at how you actually build an AI-native organization. And finally, we'll check out a few signals from the future that make all of this so incredibly urgent. Okay, so let's get right to the heart of it. The big lesson is this. AI adoption is a full-on rebuild, not just a simple retrofit. I mean, think about it this way. You can't just bolt a jet engine onto a horse-drawn carriage and expect it to fly, right? To get any real power out of AI, you have to completely rethink and rebuild the vehicle from the ground up. And that brings us perfectly to the topic of AI agents. Man, 2025 was hyped up to be the year of the agent, wasn't it? But what we actually got was a pretty serious reality check. The gap between what was promised and what companies could actually get working in the real world, well, it was massive. So just how big was that gap? Let's look at the numbers. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. One survey from KPMG found that 42% of companies had deployed agents. But then, Deloitte's report puts that number way down at just 11%. But you know what? The exact number doesn't even really matter. The main takeaway is exactly the same. No matter how you slice it, we are still in the super, super early days of this stuff. And this slide right here tells us why that adoption is so slow. It's the strategy gap. A whopping 42% are still just trying to figure out their strategy. And another third, 35%, have no formal strategy at all. I mean, if you don't even know the how or the why, you're basically guaranteed to run into some major roadblocks. So what are they? So what's holding everybody back? Well, it really boils down to three huge barriers. First up, legacy systems. You're trying to plug a brand new 2025 AI into a database from like 1995. It's a nightmare. Second, data readiness. Surprise, surprise, most company data is still a total mess, and AI agents can't do much with data they can't understand. And third, governance. All of our old IT rules were designed for humans, and they just completely fall apart when you have an AI making thousands of decisions on its own. And just in case you thought I was exaggerating about that legacy system problem, just look at this number from Gartner. They're predicting that by 2027, a full 40% of agentic AI projects will fail for that one reason alone. That's not just a small hurdle. That is an absolute project killer. This brings us to a really critical distinction, a huge mindset shift. Most companies see AI and they think automation, doing the same old things we've always done, just a little bit faster. But a truly agentic environment, that isn't about speed. It's about total reinvention. It's about discovering completely new ways of working. And that shift in thinking is what separates the real winners from, well, everybody else. Okay, so if just layering AI on top of old, creaky systems is the wrong way to go, what's the right way? Well, that leads us right into our next section, how you actually architect an AI-native organization. This is what Deloitte is calling the Great Rebuild. One of the clearest signs that this rebuild is already happening is just by looking at the changing role of the CIO. Go back to 2015, and only about 41% of CIOs reported directly to the CEO. Fast forward to today, and that number's jumped to 65%. And that tells you everything you need to know. Tech is no longer just a cost center in the basement, it's a core part of strategy, right there in the boardroom. And the internal structures are changing too. More than half of organizations, 57%, are moving away from those old-school temporary project teams and are embracing a product model instead. This basically means instead of a team that's builds something and then breaks up, you create permanent cross-functional squads who own and improve a specific business outcome forever. So, what do the blueprints for this AI native org actually look like? Well, it all starts with modernizing that core tech and totally redesigning processes from scratch. That's what lets you shift your people away from boring, repetitive tasks and toward more important things like governance and innovation. You organize those people in the agile squads we just talked about. And maybe the biggest change of all, you start to treat change itself not as some one time project, but as a permanent, core part of how you do business, day in and day out.
All right, in our last section, let's look at a few trends that are bubbling up right now that make this great rebuild not just a good idea, but an absolute necessity. These are the signals that show us where the world is headed, and it's heading there fast.
First up is something called inference economics. And it's a bit of a paradox. See, the cost to run a single AI query is getting crazy cheap, almost free. But because we're starting to use AI for everything, the total bill is actually skyrocketing. It's kind of like when streaming music got really cheap per song, but now you're paying for 5 different monthly subscriptions. This is forcing companies to get really, really smart about how and where they spend their AI budget. Next, we have embodied AI. This is where AI basically leaves the computer screen and enters the real physical world. We're talking about smart robots, drones, autonomous cars, you name it. And let's be honest, if your current systems can't even share data cleanly between two departments, they have absolutely no chance of supporting a whole fleet of intelligent autonomous machines. This is where that foundational rebuild becomes completely non-negotiable. And finally, there's a shift that is happening as we speak. Generative Engine Optimization, or GEO. For the last 20 years, marketing has been all about SEO, getting your website to the top of a Google search page. Well, now the entire game is changing. It's about getting your brand, your products, your ideas mentioned in an AI's answer. This is a massive shift away from just winning with keywords to actually winning with true, verifiable expertise. And it's already becoming the biggest marketing challenge of the decade. Which brings us right back to where we started. The companies that are going to master geo, that are going to harness embodied AI, and that will navigate inference economics, they're the ones that have learned the one true lesson of 2025. It's not about just adding AI, it's about rebuilding for it. So the only question left to ask is, for your organization, are you just adding, or are you truly rebuilding?